Hey everyone, welcome back, and I hope you're doing well today. I want you to imagine this for a moment. You wake up, check your bank account, and your Social Security check isn't there when you expected it to be. For millions of seniors and benefit recipients, that exact situation could become a reality in January 2026 if you're not aware of the confirmed payment schedule changes that are already locked in. What makes this even more concerning is that most people have no idea these changes are happening, and if you don't check your specific payment date right now, you could be left waiting days or even weeks longer than you planned for money you depend on. That's why this update is so important, because today we're breaking down exactly who gets paid when, why January 2026 is different from most months, and what you need to do to protect your budget and peace of mind. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, survivor's benefits, spousal benefits, or VA benefits, this information is for you. So many people get confused by headlines, rumors, and half-truths floating around online, but here we focus on real, confirmed updates that directly affect your money, your benefits, and your future. Before we get into the details, make sure you're subscribed and staying connected, because our goal here is simple. Making sure no senior is left behind, surprised, or misled when it comes to their income. Now let's talk about what's officially happening with Social Security payments in January 2026 and why this month matters more than most. More than 70 million Americans depend on Social Security every single month, and for many, it's their primary or only source of income. That means even a small delay or shift in payment timing can have a serious impact on rent, utilities, groceries, medications, and everyday expenses. January 2026 brings a combination of calendar quirks and benefit changes that make it especially important to know your exact payment date ahead of time so you can plan properly. First, let's talk about the cost of living adjustment, because this is the part everyone has been waiting for. A 2.8% COLA officially takes effect in January 2026. This increase is meant to help Social Security benefits keep up with inflation and the rising cost of essentials like food, gas, housing, and healthcare. According to the Social Security Administration, the average retired worker who is currently receiving around $2,150 per month will see that amount increase to roughly $2,210. That works out to an increase of about $56 per month. While that might not sound like a huge amount at first, over the course of a full year, it adds up to more than $670 in additional income. For people living on a fixed income, that extra money can make a meaningful difference. But while the COLA is welcome news, the January payment schedule itself is where things start to get complicated. Because of how the calendar falls in January 2026, some people will see their payments arrive later than usual, while others will see money hit their accounts earlier than expected. In fact, some SSI recipients will actually see two payments during the month of January, which can be confusing if you don't understand what's going on. Here's why this is happening. New Year's Day in 2026 falls on a Thursday, and that single holiday causes a ripple effect across the entire payment calendar. The Social Security Administration follows a very specific system for issuing payments, and for most beneficiaries, those payments are scheduled on Wednesdays, based on your date of birth. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your January 2026 payment is scheduled for Wednesday, January 14th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is scheduled for Wednesday, January 21st. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment is scheduled for Wednesday, January 28th. If those dates seem later than usual to you, you're absolutely right. Because January 1st is a federal holiday, everything gets pushed back, and those Wednesday payments land on the latest possible dates for the month. Financial experts are already warning that this longer wait could be challenging for seniors who are used to receiving their money earlier and who have bills due at the beginning of the month. If your payment doesn't arrive until January 28th, that's almost 4 full weeks into the month, and that can require some careful planning. There is, however, a group of beneficiaries who follow a completely different schedule, and this is very important to understand if you've been receiving benefits for a long time. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and Supplemental Security income, your Social Security payment does not follow the Wednesday birthday schedule. Instead, you receive your Social Security payment on the 3rd day of every month. For January 2026, that means your payment will arrive on Friday, January 3rd. In this case, you'll actually receive your money earlier than most other beneficiaries, which can be a big help with early January expenses. Now let's talk about SSI, because this is where the schedule gets especially tricky. Supplemental Security income payments are normally sent on the first day of every month. However, when the first of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the Social Security Administration issues the payment on the last business day before the first. This is done so recipients are not left without money due to calendar timing. In January 2026, January 1st is New Year's Day, a federal holiday. That means SSI recipients will receive their January payment early, on Tuesday, December 31st, 2025. If you're an SSI recipient and you see money hit your account on New Year's Eve, it's not a mistake, it's not a bonus, and it's not something you'll have to pay back. It is simply your January payment arriving one day early because of the holiday. But it doesn't stop there. February 1st, 2026 falls on a Sunday. Because of that, the February SSI payment will also be issued early, on Friday, January 30th, 2026. This means SSI recipients will see two payments during the month of January. One payment on December 31st, which is technically the January payment, and another payment on January 30th, which is technically the February payment. This can feel like a windfall at first, but it's extremely important to remember that you are not receiving extra money. You are simply receiving your February payment earlier than usual, and that money will need to last you through the entire month of February. For people who receive both Social Security and SSI, the timing is even more layered. In January 2026, you'll receive your SSI payment on December 31st, your Social Security payment on January 3rd, and then another SSI payment on January 30th. Keeping track of these dates is crucial because misunderstanding them can lead to budgeting mistakes that cause problems later on. Now let's talk about something that will directly affect how much of that 2.8% COLA you actually get to keep. Medicare Part B premiums are increasing in 2026. For most beneficiaries, these premiums are automatically deducted from your Social Security check before the money even reaches your bank account. The standard Part B premium is increasing significantly compared to 2025, and for many people, that increase will eat up a large portion of their monthly raise. When you do the math, you'll see that roughly one-third of the average $56 COLA increase could be lost to higher Medicare premiums. This is why many advocacy groups point out that while the COLA sounds good on paper, the real-world increase in spending power is often much smaller. Most people today receive their Social Security benefits through direct deposit, which is the fastest and safest way to get paid. If you use direct deposit, the money should appear in your account on your scheduled payment date, although the exact time can vary depending on your bank. Some banks post funds just after midnight, while others may take until later in the morning or even the afternoon. If you still receive paper checks, the Social Security Administration advises waiting at least 3 additional mailing days after your scheduled payment date before reporting a missing check. It's also important to know that the Social Security Administration is making major changes to how it operates its field offices in 2026. The agency is planning to significantly reduce in-person visits and push more people toward online services through the My Social Security account system. While this may work well for people who are comfortable online, many seniors and disability advocates are concerned about those who lack reliable internet access or who prefer speaking with someone face-to-face. If you don't already have a My Social Security account, setting one up now can save you a lot of stress in the future. With an online account, you can check payment dates, view benefit letters, update direct deposit information, and access important tax documents without needing to call or visit an office. If your payment doesn't arrive when expected, the first thing to do is stay calm. The official guidance is to wait 3 business days beyond your scheduled payment date. If the payment still hasn't arrived after that, you should contact the Social Security Administration by phone or through your online account. If you plan to visit an office, it's a good idea to call ahead, especially as in-person services become more limited. Planning ahead is the key to handling this unusual January schedule. If your payment arrives late in the month and you have bills due earlier, consider contacting your creditors to see if due dates can be adjusted. Many companies are willing to work with you if you explain your situation. Building even a small buffer in your checking account can also help avoid overdraft fees. And if you're an SSI recipient receiving 2 payments in January, use that timing wisely and remember that the second payment needs to last all of February. The bottom line is this. January 2026 brings confirmed changes to Social Security and SSI payment timing due to calendar quirks and holiday scheduling, along with a new cost of living adjustment that comes with both benefits and challenges. Knowing your exact payment dates, Understanding how Medicare premiums affect your check and planning ahead can make all the difference. Mark your calendar, set reminders, and stay informed. Social Security is a vital lifeline for millions of Americans, and staying on top of these updates is one of the best ways to protect your financial stability. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to stay connected, and I'll continue bringing you clear, honest updates that actually matter to your money and your future.